Wanted to share my ride with you guys to Legend because we are about to hit it, and I hope you guys can join me when we do hit Legend on live stream. You already know we're going to be doing it right here on YouTube. When we hit Legend, I would like to do a lap around the park with everybody. I would love to flood the park with our community, so if you guys could come on out, I would greatly appreciate it. Hey, what's up YouTube? You already know it's AllCity Live TV, and thank you for tuning in. Today we're gonna sit back and have some real talk, man, because I've noticed a lot of people, when they reach higher reps, they kind of change their personality and let their ego get the best of them. I want to kind of say, I think I may be like the most casual legend out there. I'm 86% in. I'm about to hit Legend. I'm so close. We live stream the game every single day, and I'm creating uploads every single day as well. I wonder, I kind of have like a whole new respect for actual NBA stars, being that a lot of the gamers on 2K seem to think that when they hit Legend, like their whole personality kind of changes. They kind of let their grind or their achievement on the video game, or on 2K for that matter, change who they are. And I kind of feel for them because they're letting an achievement on a video game change who they are, and I know that just means that they don't have a clear definition of who they actually are. If a video game achievement can change your personality so drastically, it's really unfortunate to see that. I want more from our generation. I want more from people who actually grind out there, just like we expect more from the stars in the NBA, and they just can't outright disrespect the fans because there'll be some backlash for that. Unfortunately, on 2K, when a lot of these players reach a high level of rep on 2K20, they kind of change their whole personality and they treat or demean the people with lesser reps or people who don't have a higher win percentage. I don't really understand. Like, 2K20 has always been a leisurely activity for me since the beginning, and the reasons for that is because I cannot get a grasp. You guys see the highlights in the background. I have fun out there for the most part, and I'm a casual / competitive gamer. I do enjoy basketball, and I've played basketball for almost my entire life. So this is why I enjoy playing a basketball game, and I can be competitive at times, but this is my leisurely activity. This is something that I do in my leisurely time, from creating content to talking about 2K to playing the game itself. This is all something that I do for enjoyment. So the reasons why I can't take 2K competitively, like I can't take it that seriously and play the game competitively, is because you never know what you're gonna get in 2K. It doesn't seem like a complete product. Imagine for a second, take into consideration players like LeBron James or Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, but highly competitive players that play at the highest level. Let's say, for instance, they invested so much time on becoming these great players, and then the league, the actual NBA league, says you're no longer playing basketball. They come in one day to play their game and they say you're no longer playing basketball, you guys are now playing soccer. Good luck, go ahead and play. Imagine what happened to those players. I don't know if you guys get the analogy and what I'm getting at here. Imagine that they go from playing on the hardwood to playing on grass, and now they gotta play a whole new game that they don't know about. And that's what I feel when I play 2K. That's what I felt from the beginning of the year with all of these patches, with all of the changes that are being made. 2K doesn't seem to take into consideration that there's a world full of so many different type of gamers. People who play 2K, they just range drastically from one end of the spectrum to the other. You have highly competitive, and then you have highly casual gamers out there. Just people who get on the game ever so often and want to have a good time. Then, not to mention, you get handicapped players out there. Players that they have a disability or something, and they can't necessarily grind as much. And NBA 2K's grind to become a top rep or reach that type of the ultimate achievement, it's almost ruthless out there, and they don't take into consideration all of these players that may have a little bit more difficult a time achieving that top rep out there. And you could play the game almost every day, let's say for a couple hours a day. And being that 2K is an annual release, even if you played for, let's say, 2 hours a day every single day during that release, from release date till the release date of the new annual release, you will not hit the top rep. 2 hours is just not good enough to reach the top rep, even if you played it every single day. And that's quite unfortunate to even take into consideration. And that actually makes me look at 2K a little differently. They're not considering all of the players out there. And don't get me wrong, I know there's a lot of competitive players, and I don't have nothing against y'all. I have something more so against 2K for constantly changing the game. You pay for a nice juicy cheeseburger and you get a straight chicken sandwich. It's not something that I actually want to receive. I don't want to receive a chicken sandwich when I'm expecting to bite into a cheeseburger. It's unfortunate. I created a glass lock in the beginning of the year. I invested a bunch of time. I invested, some IRL money into building the player up. Unfortunately, that glass lock is rendered completely useless with the game that I got in front of me today. I created that player for the game that I had in front of me when I created it in the beginning of the year. Now, 13 patches later, the player is rendered useless. And I'm sure this has happened to a lot of you guys out there. You create players for the game that you have in front of you. And then 13 patches later, with all of the changes, the constant latency, the server issues, blue screens, players are rendered useless in NBA 2K20, and I don't think 2K is really taking into consideration people's time and people's IRL money that they're investing into their product. And I don't think it's good to change a product. These are reasons. The reason why I'm not really complaining per se, because I play NBA 2K. Let's put this out there. I play NBA 2K20 every single day. I get on, I live stream, and we chill with our great community on our live stream here at AllCity Live TV. So being that I do this every day, I'm not complaining per se that 2K is just an unplayable game. I'm not complaining from that aspect. I just wish that certain things were changed. I wish 2K's approach was changed just a bit, because it seems like the foundation is there to make a great product. You know how when you see the potential of something, or even the potential in someone's game, you're like, man, as long as you got that foundation or the fundamentals down, you know that player could turn into a great player. Well, that's how I feel about 2K. Like, the foundation is there, but it seems like something is lacking. Like, they just don't have that. They just can't take that step forward. Add incentives for your players. Add daily incentives, not the 2000 VC that you get. I know 2K thinks that they're adding incentives, but when you get players like myself that play the game day in and day out, those incentives become very minimal. And from my outlook, they're very minimal. And it seems like you're not getting the proper incentives to meet your grind. It basically feels like you're grinding more than any incentive. But then you get the idea that you might reach the ultimate incentive of becoming legend. And for me, the ultimate incentive for becoming legend turns into me not wanting to play the game anymore, because now there's really no incentive to play. So I think 2K's logic and how they approach incentives for players out there, it needs to be revamped. At least that's my opinion on it. And I think legends, people who are current legends right now, they need to kind of draw back or fall back on this idea that hitting legend in a video game somehow puts you above the rest. Because I know when I hit legend, I want to hit legend with my community. I don't want to hit legend to play above my community or be better than my community. I'm hitting legend for our community, for like the people that are constantly with us, that they could say, yeah, my homie's a legend. Yeah, it makes my hair stand up a bit, because it's a different approach. My approach toward legend my approach toward YouTube and toward the grind on 2K has always been an us approach. Like, we do this and we're doing this and we're gonna hit legend. It's always been like that. Yeah, we about to hit legend. So I think that approach will be better I think it's more inspiring for a lot of the other casual gamers out there, or players that don't take it too competitively, because I don't consider myself a highly competitive player. I'm out here just playing and learning the game just like everybody else. I analyze the game as well, and I kind of make it for that the everyday gamer can understand, or the casual gamer can understand for that instance. I want to make it so that everybody feels comfortable playing 2K, and by me hitting the top rep for our community, it helps people understand that, like, damn, if he could hit top rep, then I could hit top rep as well. But I want you to understand also, if you're out there, this thing just doesn't define you, B. Don't let it change your characteristics. Allow humility to come into your life. Allow humility to spread, throughout the people that are close to you, because being humble, from my approach, listen, 2K20 has been like the most successful year for me, as far as like streaming on YouTube and creating content for 2K. It's been a great ride so far, and our community is so highly supportive, and I really appreciate that stuff. And it, like I said, it's humbling to me, but so many different people like approach this stuff from a different angle, and they actually consider themselves the entertainer. And I maybe they just lack a clear definition of who they are, like themselves, but I don't consider myself an entertainer. I consider myself someone that's a part of our community. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not trying to be corny or cheesy. I really mean that. I really actually, I'm speaking real talk. 100 is a buck out here for sure, all day, because like, people exalt themselves. Like, if I'm ever exalted, I want to be exalted by the people around me. If I'm ever like catapulted to a higher level, one is probably gonna be like due to the people that's around me. But in my mind, I'm already where I'm at, where I need to be, and I'm always comfortable with it. So like that'll never change, no matter where someone wants to put me, whether they want to demean me or belittle me, or whether they want to exalt me to a higher level. It is almost irrelevant to a sense in my mind, because I'm so comfortable with who I am and where I'm comfortable with where I'm content is the way to put it. If you're content, nobody else is gonna be able to clearly define who you are. So being that I'm content, I think it's easier for me to show appreciation for the people who want to kind of support what we do here. And like I said, I want to be exalted. If I'm gonna be exalted, if I'm gonna be raised, I want to be raised up by my community. I don't want to praise myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about praising myself. And a lot of people out there, whether they got a high win percentage or whether they reached a high rep, their personality changes and they call themselves the GOAT, or they call themselves the best player on 2K. And they constantly, you ever seen those players or those people that create scenarios so that they can speak on their win percentage? Like, they'll call you trash so you can say something back, and they can say, well, I got this win percentage. You know why they create those scenarios? You know why they quit to call somebody trash? Because they need to speak on their accomplishments. Their accomplishments don't really show in real life. So they need to find some weird way to kind of speak on those accomplishments. So next time you see a legend out there with a big ego and a big mouth, just ignore him, and you'll hurt him more by ignoring him than catering to his toxicity. You know what I'm saying? So I hope you guys found this video helpful and informative. I'm really about just speaking facts on this video. I just wanted to share my ride with you guys to Legend because we are about to hit it, and I hope you guys can join me when we do hit Legend on live stream. You already know we're going to be doing it right here on YouTube. When we hit Legend, I would like to do a lap around the park with everybody. I would love to flood the park with our community, so if you guys could come on out, I would greatly appreciate it. If you guys are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, as we're gonna have a ton of NBA 2K20 content coming your way. Catch you guys in the next video.